Tell you guys, well, you just caught us in the middle of a very heated argument. Well, it's not that heated, actually.
Yeah,
but from social media, it was heated because if you go through the comment section of this submission on social media, you'd agree that this was crazy. Yesterday, something very interesting hit social media where a... By the way, welcome, Mike. Good to see you, man. Nice T-shirt. What's that? More Taylor.
Africa.
Nice. We like it.
You know it's an artsy Thursday. You know how Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just thinking of old school Thursday.
So back to that story. Yesterday, a clip hit social media where a young woman was harassed by a couple of men. I don't know exactly what part of the country this was, but it seemed that this lady was trying to get to her destination at a bus park. However, she was dressed in a certain kind of way that these men found offensive. What they proceeded to do was harass her. There's no two ways of putting it. They spilled water on her. They, sort of corralled her all over the place and everything while agitating her. And she got physical, actually, but
the men did not.
They didn't hit back, but however, she was assaulted, whether they like it or not. Now, the comment section was a buzz under that clip because people were just agitated. First off, there were a set of people who were like, whose business is it? However she wants to dress is her business. No one has any right to harass her. And then yet there were other people who said, hey, if you want to be treated in a certain kind of way, then dress in a certain kind of way. There was also that argument. It was very disturbing to see. And we were just having this conversation where we were asking if we're on the part of being addressed how you want to, or rather, being addressed.
Dress the way you'd like
to be addressed.
Yeah.
And one of us had asked, whose business was it if you want to be naked on the street? But you were trying to give us some very lawful statements here.
So, I mean, like you said earlier on, it was a viral sensation yesterday. Everyone was talking about it because everyone was sort of, I don't know, spooked by it, basically. And that was why my earrings falling off this morning.
You go ahead, I'll help you out with that.
Okay, so, yes, I decided to check what the Nigerian legislation says about indecent dressing. So first off, we need to establish that indecent dressing can be subjective, right? So to you, indecent dressing might be, your definition of indecent dressing might be different from mine.
Might be tolerable.
Exactly. But however, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 in Section 46 says, indecent exposure is intentional exposure of the genital organs, substantial part thereof with the intention of causing distress to the other party. So this has two definitions, right? So the intentional exposure of genital organs, either fully or partly, with intention to cause distress to the other party. So this should also be noted that no legislation has made a clear provision for indecent dressing.
What indecent dressing constitutes.
Exactly, but rather indecent acts or indecent exposure.
Exposure.
Yes. So that is, so indecent act, of course, is ignoble. That is illegal.
We need to take
That's
note
what
of
the
that.
section provides.
There is no law against what she was wearing, per se. And even if it is wrong to harass her in that way, I mean, you said the pouring water, they were going over her, and all of that.
Agitating her.
But you know...
And then there was also the one of the bank, where somebody also was reporting an argument. Like, I feel like you are invading somebody's...
privacy.
You might say, okay, the person was not being private about what they have. But you can't just record somebody that...
Yeah, that's harassment.
Put somebody up for ridicule. I mean, I could say, look, you damaged my mental health, you made me lose a job, and I could take it to court. I'm not talking about, it might not apply here. But I'm saying, yes, indecent dressing is a moral-based issue. It doesn't hold weight in a secular society. I mean, we've seen where societies have people who say, look, I was born nude. I was born with my birth. I want to live that way and go that way. Why do I have to wear clothes? And then there are provisions in some countries that look, okay, maybe in some areas. You've seen clubs where people are in their birthday suit.
I've not seen, Mike. I've not seen. Okay. Why are you pointing at me and telling me that I've seen?
You have? Wait, you can't admit that you denied it.
Look at you, you've seen clubs.
What I'm just saying is that, okay, morally, yes, some people might not agree with her, but there is no reason to harass her.
I agree with you, absolutely. Whatever the case, however, is there a case for culture?
For culture. And okay, now that's a different place
For
now.
process.
But now,
So when you say a case for culture and
And many will argue that in our
in
culture.
this part of the world,
bam, bam,
in Africa,
go to
You
South
can
Africa.
exactly.
thank you, because
In
we have
South
parts of
Africa.
Africa that they're
Till
clad
tomorrow,
nude.
when they had
They're
the
unclad.
passage of womanhood, I mean, we saw, there was this a conference, I can't remember exactly what, and it was open to the glare of the whole world. We had what? Hundreds of South African virgins in their birthday suits, just saved for their genitals, as it were. And they were celebrating, and it was shown to the whole world
Yeah.
with their president and all.
That's
It was their
culture.
culture.
That is exactly.
Good. Now, my next question is this. Is there a responsibility to self? I'm going to use an analogy here. Would you wear bling, gold chain, carry your iPhone 15 and walk through the streets at 11 p.m., maybe at Jigunle or Mushin or even Lekki Sef? Would you do that?
And that's another thing, yes.
I don't think you should compare both.
Oh, no.
No,
Just no,
I thought I was
I
thinking your
both-
way, but I
both-
understand what
yeah,
you're coming
You
from.
get what I
I-
mean?
They're not really different. The point is that is a responsibility to self.
To self,
When
exactly.
you know that there's a possibility, a susceptibility that something could happen, you could be robbed, you could be harassed, would you do it? That's where it's coming from.
Exactly.
And that's where they align.
Yeah.
You understand? That's where it aligns.
So
like,
that is where insecurity comes into play, right? But here is someone who is
still about her
expressing. No,
security.
wait, but this is someone here who's expressing her human rights because legally she has a right.
Legally, these
Yes.
are constitutions we're not even clear on because we do
true.
not have exact description of what is against the law or what is
What
not
is-
against the law when it
yeah.
comes to indecent
Indecent.
exposure. Our culture, however, is
our
another
culture
thing.
is
Okay.
See, our
You know.
culture.
Now let's look at it. Let's look at it.
Let's-
Let's look at it another way, right? Because when I saw that video yesterday, I said there were a few things that crossed my mind, which were one, our sense of humanity. They could have just covered her up instead of that harassment. They would have still passed their
Message
message across to the public or to the woman or whatever.
minutes, yes.
And exactly, because that was totally uncalled for. Does she have a right to wear what she wore? Yes, she does. Could she have been, told to do better? Of course she could. I mean,
Anybody else's standards.
Exactly. She could have, done the same. As a matter of fact, what they did to her is a criminal offense
very
because
true.
it was an indecent act. They touched parts of her bodies that sort of sport some
exposed.
they were exposed, right? Which they shouldn't have, and they're liable to a 500,000 fine or a year sentence if they are caught.
I think
right.
instances
But-
like these should actually be templates or should be posters for what, how we should conduct ourselves hence. And I mean, authorities need to actually take these instances and help us show example of what
Of how we should
exactly.
be dressed.
What?
No, not about dress of these kinds of instances. If somebody gets harassed,
Oh, this is
like,
what you should do.
This
Oh,
is
this
what,
is what you what
because
you're-
we
what-
don't
yeah, what
know
you're liable
exactly
to.
what's the word I'm looking for now? What the repercussion is
Repercussions, consequences.
consequences of actually acting that way
Actually.
against
Yeah.
her,
You see
and the other
something,
way around as well.
When we're
Yeah.
talking about, I was telling when you see people post videos in the abroad and all of that, you see how clad they are. They almost do not have an option. They cannot go out in their birthday suits in that kind of weather.
Except the summer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Except at the
Even
beach and stuff.
during the summer, their summer is like a harmattan. Sure, you know. That's why I was telling Mazino something about room temperature. And then we talk about how wine should be taken in room temperature there.
It's different
like our
from
freezer.
Yeah, exactly. Room temperature
is
here is
different.
like you're cooking.
So what I'm saying is that over there, but because of the way our climate
Yeah.
is, you cannot be wearing head warmer by
By 12
You
noon.
know, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
but then
saying.
it's been really hot, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I guess that's why she wore that.
If
because
you're
it's been
looking at
very
our
hot.
culture and our tradition, we are scantily clad. That's what fits our environment.
Because it's a hot weather.
Yes.
The weather is hot.
So as she is now, she was
also,
dressing
all
for
of
the
these
weather.
sort of harassments and stuff would thrive because we don't have strong laws that protect women
Yeah.
in this part of the world. If we did, and everyone was aware of this, of the, like you said, consequences of, because this
Any
sort of things we
action
shouldn't happen. Even there was another instance of another lady. She even wore an active wear. She wore like biker shorts and a shirt to the market, and she was harassed.
Yeah.
You know, it
Well,
was
I'll
embarrassing.
piggyback on what you said. We don't have what laws now, did you say?
We don't have strong laws that
Yeah, I'll
actually
just say that
protect
we do
women.
not have strong laws, period, because we're even unclear on what the law says about indecent exposure, and that needs some amendment. Tell you guys what, you tell us what. Send us a message, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Would like to know what your opinion is on the matter.
Have you ever been harassed for dressing the way you want to dress?
Yeah.
Or what do you think about the video? Let us know.
Exactly.
On our socials.
We'll be back.